Ooh, call my holler to the outside. Ooh.
It's blurry.
Dang, that is. Call all your holler, I should now shy. I see a chariot.
Mm-hmm.
Picture. Zoom out so you can see it moving. Dang, that's a huge one.
That's big. Let me see if I can find any more.
Quick too.
Yeah, it was all the way over here.
Get ready to disappear in there.
Yeah.
Oh, let's get ready to disappear. See it?
Got that on video.
Woo! Shalom, shalom. First off, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, Yahweh being the true name of Heavenly Father, Yahushai being named for His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Jesus Christ. Only give double honors to our apostles, double honors to our elders, the great millstone, that touches truth and will well. And salutations to you, hopefully like pushing this truth and honesty and sincerity. This is Brother Yawasop, coaching love lesson to the spirit power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And this lesson's through the Spirit. This is a quick testimony update. What you're seeing is a recording that was just taken a couple hours ago. All right, and this is a Chariot sighting. Brothers of GMS see these quite frequently, but you know, this ultimately shows that we're very, very close to the end. The fact that they're making themselves, be seen like this over and over again, man. Here in Kansas City, it's well known, that's been reported to be a hot spot for quote-unquote UFOs. All right, and UFOs or UAPs, as what the news and the government wants to identify them as, those are the angels of the Heavenly Father. Okay, the angelic vehicles. And decided to have one recorded. My son's recording it. He's 13, so he's learning a little bit how to use the camera. He's getting the ropes a little bit, but he did a pretty decent job catching this one on camera. Now, a lot of brothers that see these, some people that might see them, they look like stars that are moving across the sky. But instead of like a shooting star that moves like at a split second, they move kind of steadily, or sometimes they move extremely fast. And here in Kansas City, brothers, GMS KC see these a lot. Me in particular, I took this video where I see these, pretty frequently, almost on a regular basis. Okay, and I believe through the Spirit, this is probably, I don't know if it's like a wormhole there or some type of hot spot in the sky, but they always kind of appear around my home. It's pretty strange, man. I've uploaded a few testimonies. Those of you that follow me for some time, you probably see them. But yeah, this location where I live, kind of like in South KC, I see these a lot, a whole lot. And this one in particular is one of the largest that I caught on camera up close, as far as video footage. I did take a photo of one that was even bigger and closer one time when I fell asleep on my back porch. But this one was pretty bright in the sky. It was pretty big, and it was also flying to the east. Okay, it was it was definitely moving pretty quick, like southeast direction. Okay, and it started, way across on the other side of the screen. If you play the video, you can kind of see where he kind of pans the camera and says it. But hey, we in these times, man, the angels of the Lord, they surround the prophets and the brothers, and they look after us. And there's definitely something heavy going on the earth, and some moves being made for how active they are. Because this is like the second night within like the span of 2 weeks where I've seen literally probably more than a dozen of these in one night. Now I got this one on camera, but the other ones were too far away for the camera to pick it up. Okay, they were kind of faint like this right here, where it kind of goes away, but they're much further away. But they were moving back to back to back. I kept seeing them left and right, left and right, left and right. It kept appearing. I actually lost count. Okay, so hey, I don't know what's going on in Kansas City right now, but there's definitely a heavy presence of the angels are getting busy. You know, people are being judged out here, and this is also the location of one of Esau's, prized possessions, which is his sword. Okay, and it's like an hour from KC, I believe, Whiteman Air Force Base here in Missouri. Esau's sword is held there. Weapons of mass destruction. All right, so that might be a reason why they're so prevalent here. And also they call this the cave state. And we know in the scriptures, the scriptures talk about how Esau likes to dwell in the caves of the rocks, in the caves. So, this is definitely probably one of his capitals in the United States. It's just not put out there publicly, but he's got some shit here, man. He definitely does. And hey, it's just amazing to see the sightings. When the angels bless us and they reveal themselves, it's a blessing. This is 2 Kings 6:15. It says, "And when the servant of the man of Yahweh was risen early and gone forth, behold, and hosts compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? And it says, And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha." Okay, so the angels, it's when they reveal themselves to you, that's a blessing from the Heavenly Father that you're able to see him at that moment. Now that could also be a curse, because upon the wicked, the scriptures say that the chariots shall render rebukes and flames of fire with his anger, roughly paraphrasing. So they're going to be actually, attacking people one day when the Lord lets them loose. But for his chosen, they're also there for a hedge of protection, just like they were for Elisha. Okay, in this case. So what happened after he saw? It says in verse 18, it says, "And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto Yahweh and said, Smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha." So them angels smote the army, the whole army that was surrounding them, with blindness. And there was chariots that were chariots of fire around about them. So, if the army would have seen all these thousands of chariots that were more than, the army that was coming to surround them, they definitely wouldn't have came up there and did all that. They would have recognized, hey, they were overwhelmed, definitely outnumbered and outpowered, and would have took off. But the army couldn't see them. But Elisha and the prophet saw them, man. So, hey, there you have it. There you have it, man. This is Psalms 34:7. It says, "The angel of Yahweh encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them." Right, man. So the angels, they hold posts too, and they encamp around, the brothers and the prophets that preach his word and serve him. So it's always encouraging for brothers to see chariots, and that's why, sometimes if we are blessed to be able to catch them on video, we might upload the video to be encouraging for the rest of the body, the rest of the brothers, to show that, hey, yeah, we got angels with us, man. We don't have anything that we need to fear other than the Lord himself, but they got our backs, and they're watching us all the time, guiding our steps. This is Zechariah 5:2, and he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. All right, so that's a huge angelic vehicle. You know, to be 20 cubits and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. You know, that's pretty big. That's, you know, definitely bigger than your average SUV in the sky he sees. All right, and a flying roll can also modern day be translated into a flying saucer or oval shaped, or even something as like a flying scroll. You even have like they call them like cigar shaped UFOs that show up. So these vehicles are out of this world, man. These are heavenly angelic powered vehicles, and ain't nothing Esau Edom can do against them. He's tried to shoot them down to no avail. Okay.
October 30th of 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. Another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile, and I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does. You can still see it traveling. This was taken October 30th.
So as you can see, it just bounced right off, man. They can't do nothing with the angelic vehicles, man. Here's another video of one of the Lord's vehicles just disabling a missile. Look at this. Well, there you have it, man. There's nothing that this man's technology can do to fight against these things. And, you know, this is what I've seen in my front yard, man. I showed you the video. Okay, it's the same tech. All right. So these are the angels of the Heavenly Father, man. They definitely are. This is Ezekiel 1:16. It says the appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a beryl, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance was, their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. All right, so you got a circle in the middle of a circle, and you're looking up and it's in the sky. All right, it's a flying saucer shape. Okay, quote unquote UFOs. So yes, they're in the scriptures. Those are the angels, man. They're not what people in government want to call aliens. You know, when people call them as aliens, that's not the correct term. They're in the scriptures, and they're called chariots as far as the vehicles go, and the pilots are the angels. Okay? This is Isaiah 66:15. It says, for behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. So just like you've seen it zapping that missile, that's what it's going to do to these wicked people and Esau's military and all his weapons of mass destruction. Okay, so Lord is going to unleash these pretty soon, especially when doomsday officially hits, judgment day. This is Psalm 68:17. The chariots of Yahweh are 20,000, even thousands of angels. Yahweh is among them as in Sinai in a holy place. So just in Mount Sinai, to let you know that there was a chariot there. That was Yahweh's father ship coming down talking to Moses, man. On Mount Sinai, when that happened, so that pillar of fire, you know, that pillar, that cloud that everybody was terrified of, and you could still see Mount Sinai, the top of it still charred and burned to this day from that encounter. So it just goes to show you the magnitude of power that these have, the heat, the technology. It's completely unmatched to anything that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, or any of these nations have invented today. And there's thousands of them, man. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands. Some of those stars you looking up in the sky, they don't really be even stars, man. They be chariots that are just cloaked as stars, or just posted up, just watching everybody. And one day you're going to see most of them that you think are stars, they're going to begin moving and zapping. Okay? And then ultimately, they're going to bring in the new Exodus, which instead of us walking through a split sea, we're going to be getting beamed up in mass numbers of the millions by these angelic vehicles. So that's how the new deliverance is going to happen. We'll be beamed up into safety as Judgment Day hits this place, when the missiles hit, the thermonuclear destruction. Nuclear bombs are going to hit, and it's going to create a literal lake of fire. Like if you look at it from a satellite view or a sky view, it's going to look like a lake of fire that's going to spread across the earth, the ground, from all these missiles hitting. And most of them are going to hit America. Most of them. Okay? So we're going to be watching that with a special view, the best view ever, inside of these chariots. The Lord's going to take us up into the clouds, man. The elect, the chosen, the Hebrew Israelites that believe in this truth and labored and support this ministry, okay? Call upon the true name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, didn't fall out, didn't become a bug out for any reason of worldly things. They're going to get delivered, man. Okay, so the rest of you people, this is going to be a horror movie for you that didn't believe and came against the Lord and his men. There's just thousands of chariots and they're ready to get busy, man. And they've been busy tonight. You know, Elder, my lawyer, said it in the group chat that somebody got judged, you know, here in Kansas City, like lost their life. A few people probably did. And typically, you know, when there's some type of destruction going on or some type of war getting ready to happen or big breaking news hits, we see a lot of activity in the skies. So I'm curious to see what the news has to say tomorrow on what's going on in the earth, man. Because it's getting wild, man. Because right after that blood moon, you know, we see chariots, and then you had the whole Captain Kirk situation that took place. You know, and now, you got a lot of threats of World War III going on. You know, Russia's turning up. So we're just watching these prophecies, man, and just seeing everything unfold. And it's beautiful times. Beautiful times, man. So Lord's will, this lesson was encouraging. This testimony was encouraging. You see that video, you know, share it with the body so people can see. These things are real. We're not just bullshitting. We're not making shit up. I just showed you some live footage and you can see it moving. And there ain't no plane, man. If it was a plane, you would see the red lights flashing and the green lights, because they're required to have that. That wasn't there. There's no helicopter either, man. And it was too high up in the sky for it to be either one. So, hey, that's it. I mean, there's going to be more where that came from. So with that, I'm going to close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. By Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors to our apostles, elders, great millstone, taught us the truth and will well. And so I taste you, hopefully I push this truth, honesty, sincerity. Shalom.